Hi guys, Remy here and welcome back to a brand new video. Today is going to be a David Bowie record haul because as I'm recording this it is the 8th of January, so it's David Bowie's birthday, and also in 2 days time, the 10th of January, it will mark 5 years since David Bowie left this earth. So it's just a very special David Bowie week. I've really gotten into him recently and I just want to show you my very fast growing collection. Also, before I get started, for Christmas my brother got me this lovely vinyl box. Normally I display my records, but because I'm back at my parents' house for lockdown I don't really have a space for my records, but now I do, so I'm very happy and I really like it. Anyway, let's get started. So the first record I've got is the beautiful 2019 set of the Mercury demos that David Bowie recorded, you know, before Space Oddity. It's got a few demos of tracks from the Space Oddity album, such as Space Oddity, Janine, Occasional Dream. It also has the song I'm Not Quite, which later became Letter to Hermione, and that is my favourite track on this entire album. It is beautiful, the echoes just sound so ethereal, it's really emotional, really personal. The chords are just lovely, and it's heartbreaking because it is, I think, one of David Bowie's most personal songs, and you don't really expect to hear like really heartbreaking love songs from David Bowie. Like you think of more of the glam rock or the anthems or Let's Dance. You don't really think of really heartbreaking acoustic pieces, but it's honestly a beautiful piece. I love it. This whole set is beautiful, by the way. I love that at the end of Janine they just start singing the na na na's from Hey Jude. It's just really sweet. It feels very continuous because it's literally just David Bowie and John Hutchinson playing all these songs that they're going to consider for future records, so it just feels like one long tape. It doesn't feel like separate tracks, so you just get lost in it, and it's really intimate and it's nice to hear them chat and talk, and it's just beautiful. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm going to show it for you guys. It came with this lovely envelope, which I've already opened to save time, and it's got lovely photographs from the time when they were recording, like photo shoots and stuff. It's really beautiful. Plus, I haven't read all of this yet, but written documents about each track they were recording and what the thought process was or what was happening whilst they were recording. Just really beautiful detail. The sleeve, the actual sleeve for the record, looks like a demo tape reel, which I thought was a really nice touch. And what I love is, because none of my other box sets do this, it's got like really protective padding, and I just thought that was a nice touch. I got this for £40 on Amazon, and I know it's normally listed at a much higher price, so this was a real bargain for me, and I love it. Moving on, I've got the 2019 Space Oddity album. Honestly, not my favourite album from David. Again, I will say Space Oddity is one of my favourite tracks. It's just beautiful. I previously mentioned in one of my last videos how much that song means to me and my family. I mainly got this album so that I could have the Space Oddity version of Letter to Hermione, because it's probably my favourite David Bowie song, or if not in my top 3. I love that song so much, and I love both versions, the Mercury demo version and the finished version. It's just absolutely amazing. Other songs I think I like is I think Conversation Piece is a song I'm beginning to like. That wasn't on the original Space Oddity album, but it is on the 2019 mix. The other tracks I think are slowly growing on me a bit more. I didn't really like them at first, but I think the more I play this album, the more I'll like it. But I'm still really happy I've got it, because I think it's the album that really started to get David Bowie a little bit more successful, so I think it's just good to have in your collection. Moving on, we move on to Hunky Dory. This album is great. I love side 1, you know, Changes is iconic. I remember how surprised I was when I realised that Changes was a David Bowie song. Oh You Pretty Things I love so much. The piano is just amazing, and of course Life on Mars. I belt my heart out whenever I listen to that song. Kooks is also really sweet. And then side 2 has Queen Bitch, which is great. And then, you know, again, the other songs I'm less familiar with, but you know, each time I listen to them, they grow on me a little bit more. Plus, I just love how piano oriented this album is. It's really nice, and because I play piano, and it's nice to be able to play the songs from this album quite well, especially Life on Mars. I love playing Life on Mars on piano. Up next we have The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders of Mars, and this album is just incredible. I love it even more each time I listen to it. 5 years breaks my heart, and it's really telling in the world's current predicament. Like I can really relate to it. Moonage Daydream, one of my favourite songs ever. It's so gorgeous. Starman is so beautiful. Soul Love and It Ain't Easy are really cool songs too. Side 2 I don't like as much. Honestly, I think Ziggy Stardust, the title track, is probably my least favourite. But you know, Suffragette City is a lot of fun, and Rock and Roll Suicide has such a powerful finish. I think it's just fantastic. Up next we've got Young Americans by David Bowie. Obviously, as this is a David Bowie video. Honestly, this is my least favourite David Bowie album that I have in my collection. I think it's just a little bit too slow for me. I find it a little bit boring. I'm really sorry to people who love Young Americans. Don't get me wrong, Fame is absolutely amazing. And Fame is the song that really made me think, hey, I should start listening to more David Bowie. Plus, it's just so good. And Somebody Up There Likes Me is one of my favourite tracks of all time. I got this album for Somebody Up There Likes Me. The synth in it is just so cool and weird, and the coda at the end, like with everyone singing, like, and the chorus is just, oh, I love that song so much. It's just the rest of the album I just can't seem to like. I just can't seem to enjoy it very well. I think it's a bit slow, and I think all the funky and groovy sound that David Bowie was going for here, he does it much better in Station to Station, an album I do not have because I'm waiting for the end of this month to get the new 45th anniversary pressing. I love Station to Station. It's probably one of my top David Bowie albums, and again, the funky sound in that album is just a lot better than this album. This album is more plastic Philadelphia soul, which I get what Bowie was trying to do, but I just think he does like funkier sounds better on Station to Station because it's a little bit more him. It's got his like twist on it. It's a bit more like also heading more into like electronic work and stuff, and I don't know, I think it's just a bit more lively, whereas this album at times it just really just drags, and I'm really sorry, but it's just my opinion. I'm still glad I've got it though, because again, Fame and Somebody Up There Likes Me, it's just awesome. I will say, even though I don't like Young Americans and the track Can You Hear Me from Young Americans sounds so much better on this little record called David Bowie The Cher Show EP. Side 1 is Young Americans, but it also has like it's a big medley of all other songs, including One by Harry Nilsson, Day Tripper by the Beatles, plus so many other songs like Ain't No Sunshine, Temptation. But the parts that he sings are from the song Young Americans. It's just so much more livelier, and so much, I just think it has better production. It is live. I just think he does it better on here. Side 2 is Fame. I love this version of Fame as well, it's just great. And track 2 is Can You Hear Me, which Cher also sings on, as well as side 1. And yeah, it's just a great little record. I don't think it's official. I got it from Discogs, but it's just really fun. Yeah, it's nice to have like a little bit of live David Bowie. And yeah, I really like what he does with the tracks on here, and I like the medley with all the references to all the other songs. But yeah, check it out if you haven't checked it out before, and all the performances are on YouTube, so yeah. Up next we have got Heroes by David Bowie. I mainly got this because I wanted the full 6-minute track of Heroes, because the single version of Heroes always throws me off, because I'm so used to singing I Will Be King, and obviously the single starts off with I Wish I Could Swim, so it always really throws me off and I don't like it, and I just think the full version is so much better for the way the song builds, so I wanted to get the album, plus the artwork is just, oh, amazing, I love it. And I'm really beginning to like it. Side B isn't really my favourite just because I just don't really like the instrumentals. It's why I don't really like the album Low at the moment. Sorry for Low fans, don't get me wrong, I love Sound and Vision, but I don't really like Low as a whole album at the moment. But side A, like Beauty and the Beast, that hook has been stuck in my head all day. Under the Lion is great, Blackout's really cool, it's like got some real dramatic bits in it. Sons of the Silent Age are nice too. I just think it's a really cool album, and I love that Bowie tried so many different sounds through the 70s. It's just so innovative, and he never gets old. He's always fresh, and he's even still fresh today, so I really, really love that. Up next we have Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, and it's so hard to say this title all the time because every time I say Scary Monsters I immediately go into "and nice sprites." Thank you, Skrillex. But yeah, Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. This album is great. It has Ashes to Ashes, which is one of my favourite songs. I love it so much. The synths in that song are so cool. I love the chord progressions and everything, and the way the synths build up at the end. Fashion is just iconic. Fashion was one of the songs that I did not realise was a David Bowie song, so that really surprised me. It's No Game Part 1 is so cool because I love the Japanese dialogue throughout the song. The way, I can't remember her name, but the way that the delivery of her vocal, how strong it is, and like, oh my god, it's so powerful, such a powerful delivery. And then David Bowie's like powerful, like screaming vocals, and the insane guitar is just awesome. Teenage Wildlife has some guitar that I really, really love as well. And yeah, I've only listened to this album twice, so I definitely need to listen to it a bit more, but it's just such a cool album, and it's like a bit more edgier and a bit more angsty, and I'm just like, yeah, it's just a lot of fun, so it's great. Up next is an album that I know everyone doesn't really like, and it's normally listed like as one of the worst David Bowie albums, but honestly I don't see the hate because I just think it's really fun, and that is Never Let Me Down. Now this is not Never Let Me Down 2018, aka the stripped down mixes. This is just a typical remaster of the original Never Let Me Down, and I love it. It's just really fun. Is it Phil Collinsy? Maybe, but you know what, it's still really fun, upbeat 80s music, and it's not boring. I know a lot of people say like his 1984 album Tonight is a bit boring, which I think I can see, and I can agree with that. Never Let Me Down is not boring. It is fun. Zeros is one of the best tracks I've ever heard. I've never heard such an uplifting thing. Yeah, the production's a bit weird, like the snare drum is just very loud. There's some pitch shifting that you don't really see why it's there. But you can see David Bowie's just trying to be a little bit more creative, but it's just not coming out very well, and it does sound very 80s and quite dated. However, I like the 80s, so that doesn't really bother me. Yeah, Day In Day Out is really cool. Never Let Me Down's okay. I like the vocal effects in that. Zeros I love so much. Like, it's just the way that he sings in that lyric. It's like when he sings some of the lyrics in Zeros, I can hear the smile he has on his face, and that's just beautiful to me. I love that. I love it. I love it. And then Glass Spider is a bit weird, but like I like the strings in Glass Spider. Shining Star has that weird Mickey Rourke rap, but I'm kind of here for it because it still sounds very pleasant. And New York's in Love is just a really cool 80s song. I don't get the hate, it deserves more love, stop being mean. But yeah, Never Let Me Down's very, very fun. And it was the first studio album by Bowie that I got. Just so you know, I got, except for the Mercury demos and except for Legacy, which I'm about to show you, all of these albums were Christmas presents. So I've had a very good Christmas in respect of David Bowie, because I was fortunate to get quite a bit of money and some vouchers from Amazon and all that, and I was just like, I know what I'm spending these on. And finally, if you've seen my previous video, I did already talk about Bowie Legacy. This album's becoming a little bit more redundant with each purchase I make, because a lot of the songs on here are songs that are on my studio albums, but this album is still great because it does have songs that you won't find on other albums. So you won't get the stripped down Life on Mars mix on Hunky Dory, you only get it on here. You get the single versions of songs on here. You know, I won't get Dancing in the Street and Under Pressure on any other albums I've got, but it doesn't matter because, you know, if I'm ever in the mood where I just want to listen to like David Bowie's hits and not necessarily want to listen to a specific album, then I've got like the perfect Bowie playlist on here, so it's fine. I used to have a problem with like buying multiple vinyls that have like duplicates of songs, but I think I'm learning to just relax and, you know, this is the album I want when I just want to listen to his best hits. And then if I want to listen to more David Bowie, then I've got all these other albums, and yeah, it's just great. Like I said before, I am planning to get Station to Station very soon, and I'm planning to get Let's Dance, so I will probably make videos about that. But for the moment, I'll leave you guys, and I hope you've had a good day. Happy New Year, and hope everyone's having a nice little Bowie week. So bye guys, and I'll see you soon.